Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here with me for this video. So in this video, we're going to do the August 2025 tarot reading for the collective to see what the energy is going to be for the collective. So I am excited to do this reading, and happy August to everybody. Happy birthday to all the Leos out there that have a birthday in August. And remember to take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't for this reading. And this reading's intended for the collective. So it's for everybody who is watching or will watch the reading. So it might resonate with you, might not. And it could resonate with you on a personal level, even though my intention is for the collective. It could resonate with you on a personal level. And please hit the like button so that more people will get this information that need to see it, because there are people out there that need to see the information. So hit that like button. It'll help it get out there to see that, for them to see it. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you will get future videos I'll put out. In 2 days, I'm going to put out the element readings for the month of August, the element tarot readings for the earth signs, water signs, fire signs, and air signs, because I added those to the channel, which I'm excited to do. I love doing tarot, so it's exciting to add more readings. I enjoy it. Let's do one more. I like to do a good shuffle, so bear with me as we go forward. So what is going to be the energy for the collective for the month of August 2025? What is going to be the energy for the collective for the month of August 2025? What is the energy? All right, I feel like we can stop. Okay, I'll read the cards out to you as I pick them up. Okay, so we've got Queen of Cups. We got the Chariot. We got the Five of Cups. Ooh, we got the Eight of Wands. Ace of Wands. That just came out in the week. I just did the weekly reading a little bit ago, and that came out for that. And we've got the Tower and the Moon cards. We've got three major arcana, and this is a small spread. So three major arcana, that's kind of a big deal. Major arcana, if you don't know, that's more energy. Those cards pack more of a punch when it comes to energy than so they kind of look at the big picture of energy, big picture, and then the minor arcana, they're not as powerful as the major, but they focus more on the details. So they're good to give you more details about the situation. So looking in the past as a collective coming into August, we're looking kind of sad there. So you got the Five of Cups. Now see how he's looking at the ground, and he's focused on these cups right here that are laying on their side that have spilled, but there's cups behind him that are still upright, but he doesn't see those because he's focused on the ones on the ground. So I feel like as a collective, we've been kind of focused on spilled milk, so to speak, or focused on negative things. And I think humans, we just have a tendency to do that. It's so easy to stay in negative energy and focus on the negative instead of the positive. And of course, the dark side's always trying to influence that on top of it. So it makes it really easy to kind of stay in that negative energy or see things like the glass half empty all the time. And that's kind of what this card reminds me, is glass half empty. Um, but also it's like a card, it's like we're feeling as a collective, we're feeling a lot of regret and loss. And we're looking at things in a negative light, or this is in the past. So this is in the past position. So it's already happened. We're seeing things in a negative light, looking at the spilled milk, seeing things negatively, focused on that instead of the positive, and having regret and feeling regret and loss. And so I feel like with that card, what's popping in with the downloads I'm getting is what's going on in the world, the systems changing, collapsing, old systems collapsing. We're looking at it in a negative way when actually it's a positive, but we don't see the positive yet because, like, this guy's not looking at the cups behind him. We're not looking at it that way as a collective. A lot of us are focusing on the negative and, oh man, this is going away, this is changing, everything's changing, and it's kind of a woe is me and a negative view on it, seeing it in a negative way when actually it's a positive change. It's positive. It's going to be better for us as a collective, but we don't see it that way. So we're having like a feeling of regret and loss as a collective over the loss of what we thought was reality, our reality, what we thought was strong systems that we have grown up with that have been in place for decades and generations. And it's like that's all changing now. And there's kind of a sense of loss and regret about those changes because it's familiar. That's the word I want to say. We are familiar with those systems, even though they weren't healthy, even though they weren't for our best interest, even though they were a burden to us and holding us down as a collective, they were familiar to us. And so there's a sense of loss and regret as we let go of that familiarity of those systems, and we're not seeing it as a good thing because we're focused on the negative. The collective, I'm talking generally, and collective, a lot of people are looking at it in a negative way instead of seeing it as a positive. Now I see it as a positive, and there's probably some people that do, but I feel like a lot of the collective is seeing it in a negative light. So in the current energy, we're kind of in a good, like we're getting into a good place. We're getting into our heart center. This is an archetype for the collective right now. We've got the Queen of Cups. So I feel like the Queen of Cups, she's in her, she knows about unconditional love. She's in her heart center. She's loving and caring towards others. And in her emotions, like her emotions are in check, but she allows her heart to kind of guide her with insight and guide her to make decisions to help others and do good works. And that's kind of how I see the Queen of Cups, and my nose is itching when I'm saying that, so that's interesting. Let me grab a drink real quick. Okay, so I feel like as a collective we're getting more and more in touch with our heart chakra. Our heart chakras are opening up and on a mass scale, and I feel like we're getting more in touch with our heart center, and that's coming out in how we interact with others, how we show love to others, and it's coming out in our actions as the collective. But we're getting more in touch with that heart center, which is good. And then we're moving forward. You see if you see the Chariot card, he's in the chariot and he's got these two, I guess, like sphinxes in the front. So he's divinely being guided. So he's divinely moving forward. And so what this is telling me right now is, as a collective, we're in our heart centers are opening. We're leaving behind that regret and loss energy, that negative energy that I was talking about a minute ago. And we're moving forward, but it's divinely guided. Like the divine is helping us to move forward into this new energy, and we're no longer going to be stuck. We're, as a collective, we're moving forward. And I feel like, and this is current energy I'm talking about right now, but I feel like we've got the Eight of Wands. So I feel like there's some fast coming in the month of August. We'll be moving forward with the help of the divine, right, into that new energy, away from that negative loss and regret energy. And our heart centers are opening, and I think there's going to be a lot more communication coming in. So on a personal level, what I'm feeling, and this download just came to me, on a personal feeling, I'm feeling on a personal level, it could be like somebody from your past coming in, or somebody coming in offering love and moving forward. Like maybe they've been holding back on those emotions and talking to you about it, but now in August they're going to come forward to you and tell you how they really feel, and they're going to go get in touch with their heart center and tell you how they really feel about things. But that's what I'm feeling that could be on a personal level. And we're in Mercury retrograde as well until August 11th. So it could be somebody from your past. That's why I said that. But it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody new. But with that Mercury retrograde coming, being involved until the 11th of August, it could be someone from the past. But on a collective level, and not personally, I see it coming in as it's like communication coming in. So it could be more communication coming in than what we saw in July. And there's been a lot happening in July. So I feel like it's going to be even faster, more messages, messages coming in, information coming in, and it's going to be, pretty fast moving in August. So I feel like in August, it's going to ramp up even more compared to what we had in July. And that's the current energy that I'm talking about. So I think August, we're going to see even more information come out, even more words coming out and thoughts and messages coming out than we did in the previous month. And things are moving forward, divinely guided and inspired, and divine's pushing things forward. So that's good. But I do think that these messages, communication coming in, is going to help, push things forward. And it's part of the divine plan that this communication comes in. And so is, having our heart center open. That's part of the divine plan too. So when we're going into the near future, what's ironic is when I did the weekly reading for the very end of July, going into August 2nd, we got this card. And here we are, it's popped up again. So that's telling me it's really significant for the month of August. So new beginnings, passionate new beginnings coming in for the collective. And it could be, like I said, it could be on a personal level, because that keeps like that's coming into me, personal level, I'm feeling that strongly. But it also could be passionate new beginnings as a collective. And since my intention's collective, that's really what I'll run with. Is it's collective new beginning coming in. And like I said in the weekly video, if you see his little hand there, it's like the universe is giving us this gift, like, here you go, here's a passionate new beginning, I'm handing it to you. So I feel like we're going to really see some changes. And another thing is, we got these two as advice from the universe. Now, the tower card can look kind of scary. That's the one here that's got the tower of people falling out right here. And that card freaks people out because it's scary looking. But the tower really isn't a bad card. It is things changing for the better. So it's like you have a tower would be like things happening that shift and change the collective for the better. But it's jolting. It's like, say that you've had your intuition's been telling you to do something for a while, and you've been ignoring your intuition, and you haven't been doing it. But really, it's part of your mission and path, and your higher self and your guides have been trying to gently nudge you in that direction, but you've been ignoring it. So then a lot of times something like could happen, a tower moment, as we call it, could happen, that totally upends your life and changes things unexpectedly to push you on that path and mission that you were avoiding and ignoring. So it's kind of like the universe will give you some time to like listen and do what you need to do. But if you don't do it and you don't listen, they're going to come in and do it for you. And that's what a tower moment is. And that's what I see kind of what the collective is. It's going to be jolting and like a sudden change, but it's actually going to be a change for the better. So it's like a sudden change for the better for the collective. Sudden changes. I think it's not going to be just one. I'm feeling like many changes, but it's going to be shocking and kind of jolting, but it's going to be for the better for the collective. So a shocking change and shift for the better coming in, and that's all part of this new new beginning coming in, passionate beginning, because you can't have negative things lingering around. You can't have old negative energy and systems and institutions and all those things lingering around, holding the collective down if we're going to go into this new beginning, right? You can't have this. You have to get rid of it. And the universe is like, all right, time's up. Time to get rid of those old systems and institutions and beliefs and all of that. Time to get rid of that. And it could, like I said, it's going to seem jolting, but it's going to be a shocking shift for the better, to allow us to get on this path, because you have to get rid of that negative energy. And then with the moon coming with it, with the tower card, to me, it's like a lot of it is illusion and stuff happening behind the scenes. It's kind of like, the moon. When you think of the moon, it's bright, but not as bright as the sun. And it's kind of hides things, because it's not as bright at nighttime. So I feel like there's going to be, and coming with the tower card, I feel like there's going to be a lot of like stuff that we didn't know about that was hidden, illusions that were kept from us. And that's part of that tower energy, is that shocking, see if you can see, there you go, shocking energy coming in. But it's shocking because it's been hidden from us. It's like, information we didn't know about, truths we didn't know about, illusions that we didn't know about, or realizing that we were living in an illusion, and realizing that there were illusions that were affecting us, and we didn't know the truth. So I feel like that's part of what the shocking tower moment is coming in for the collective, is this information that's been kept from us. But it is going to come out, and it has to come out, the hidden things, the things that are illusions with us, and it has to come out so that we can go forward with this new beginning as a collective. So, because that old energy has to be done away with. Like I said a minute ago, it has to be shifted transmuted into positive energy. And the only way that can happen is to get those truths and those illusions out in the light for us all to see. So it is going to be shocking, because think of it this way. If you spent your life on planet Earth with certain beliefs and certain systems that have been passed down from generation to generation for decades, and then you find out that everything you believed in, that you thought was real, that you thought was true, that you thought was your reality, is not. And what you've been taught, what you've been led to believe as a child, what you grew up believing, is not the truth. That is going to be very shocking and jarring to people, just like the people that are, here in this on this card. It's going to be very shocking and jarring, but it's going to be better for the collective to get that information out. So it's going to be a shocking change, but one that's better for the collective. So that's what I have for the month of August. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you soon with the element readings coming up. Bye bye. Have a good day.